Okay, this will be the last video for this section. Find all values of x satisfying the given conditions. F of x equal 2x minus 1, g of x equal 2x squared plus 3x plus 1, and f of g of x equals 10. The hardest thing about this problem will be interpreting what they mean. And so what this is telling us to do is 1, find the rule for g of f of x. 2, set the rule equal to 0. And 3, solve. That's what we need to do. They're saying, find this formula, set it equal to 10, and then when it says find all values of x, they're saying solve that equation. So there's what we need to do to solve this problem. So 1, f of g of x, or g of f of x, excuse me. Doing the same thing that we did before. Start on the ends, rewrite it. Go to the inside, replace the inside with its formula. In this case, f of x is 2x minus 1 with its rule. Then use g and replace all those x's with 2x minus 1. That you can still see g up there. And so g is 2x. Well, don't write x. Write 2x minus 1. So 2 times x minus 1 quantity squared minus 3. Don't write x. Write 2x minus 1 plus 1. And now we start simplifying. And that's going to be the hardest thing about this problem, is the simplifying. Especially if I do it wrong. So here I distributed, getting negative 6 plus 3. And here I'm going to FOIL first, and then I'm going to multiply by 2. So FOILing that out. Big set of parentheses, FOIL it out. That's going to be 4x squared minus 2x minus 2x plus 1 minus 6x plus 4. I'm going to collect my like terms on the inside first there. Distribute that 2. So I'm going to have 8x squared minus, not 8x, minus 8x plus 2 minus 6x plus 4. And then I've got some like terms. Collect my like terms here. And so I've got 8x squared minus 14x plus 6. And hopefully I didn't make a mistake. Let's check that. 2x minus 1, and then 2x minus 1 squared minus 3 times 2x minus 1 plus 1. 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. I think we look pretty good there. And so there was step 1. My outlines, there's step 1. I have the formula, I have the rule. Step 2. And I don't know up here, okay, did make a mistake way back here when I was doing my, how we're going to do the problem. Set the rule equal to 0? No, that'd be wrong. This is why I bring the white out. Set the rule equal to 10, because that's what they said here. F of g of x, or g of f of x equals 10. Set it equal to 10. Typo. Fix that. Sorry about that. I'd love to say I never make mistakes, but I make mistakes every single time, all the time. And one of the big, when you read these things in folio, when you go to look at these things in folio, before each set of videos, I said, I was lecturing to an empty classroom. If you find mistakes, let me know. Here, we just have to count on me finding my own mistakes. I am sure I have not found all my own mistakes. If you see a mistake in a video, email me, and if there is a mistake, I will fix the video. I'll have to redo the video, but I'll fix it. But anyway, my step 2, which is now at the very top of the screen, set equal to 10. So 8x squared plus 14x plus 6 equal to 10. And then step 3, solve it. Well, now we gotta remember how to solve equations. And that square right there makes it a quadratic. I got 3 choices for quadratics. Square root method. That 14x won't make it a square root method problem. Thus, I'm down to quadratic formula or factoring, and the easiest thing to do would be one of those two things. And so for both of those, I need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides and get 8x squared minus 14x minus 4 equal to 0. We'll go up here, finish this guy up here. I can factor out a 2 here. That'll make life a little easier. Or you could divide everybody by 2. It doesn't matter. Either factor out a 2 or divide everybody by 2. And we'll get 4x squared minus 7x minus 2. And then you can take this guy right here and you could do this guy right here. You could ignore the 2 because the 2 multiplying by 2 is not contributing it to being equal to 0. So I can pretty much ignore the 2 now. And so this guy right here, I can either do the quadratic formula on it or factor. And I'm going to factor because I do see how that factors. So that's going to be factored to 4x plus 1, x minus 2. My first term's multiplied by 4x squared. My last term's multiplied by negative 2. And when I check the center, I'm going to get x minus 8x minus 7x. The factoring checks. You certainly don't have to write that down, but that's me checking my factoring. Then now that it's factored and equal to 0, I can split it up. And so I get x equal negative 1/4, x equal 2. And there we've solved the problem. Now it's a long problem, but if you baby step your way through it, it's not so bad. Okay, last problem. Given below are the graphs of two functions f and g of x. Use the graphs to find f of g of negative 2 and g of f of 0. Really pretty much the same problem, or similar problems, one with the nested notation, one with the little circle, but they're kind of the same idea. So f of g of negative 2. Start on the inside. And so we'll note that g of negative 2, so you got to think way back, finding functional values using graphs. That this was the y-coordinate on G's graph, y-coordinate, let's put it this way, y-coordinate of the point on G's graph whose x-coordinate is negative 2. And you clearly aren't writing all that down, you're just doing it. So G is this guy right here. And we are not supposed to pretend that we know any formulas, just use the graph. So negative 2, G's graph, try to do a straight line here, right there. That point looks like negative 2, 4. And so this is going to be 4. And so this becomes f of 4. Then doing the same thing over here, f of 4. This will be the y-coordinate of the point on F's graph, whose x-coordinate is 4. And we'll do it in red. So we can keep things separate. So if you're actually reading these notes and whatnot, and this one is in blue. So graph of F, that's a straight line. Y-coordinate is 4. There's my point right there, 4, 0. And so this comes out to be 0. Okay, so there's the first guy, F of -2. Same thing on the next one. That was not a straight line. What are we supposed to do here? G of F of 10. So rewrite it to its nested format. And then do the same thing. F of 10. Y-coordinate on F, whose x-coordinate is 10. So I'm going to have to bring it, yeah, I think we can do it. Except I copied it down wrong. 0. All sorts of mistakes in these videos. But I caught it, 0. So 0, 0, which is good because the graph doesn't have a 10 on there. 0. So F of 0, and we can still see that. F of 0 in red, right there. 0, 4. So F of 0 is going to be 4. And so this becomes G of 4 in blue. I don't have the space to write it all down, but now go to the graph of G. This is the x-coordinate. X's go in, y's come out. So go to 4, which looks like it's right about there. That's 4, 6. So G of 4 equals 6. And I should have written that stuff down here too. So this tells me that F of 4 equals 0. This tells me that F of 0 equals 4. Just coincidence that I picked points that did that. And this is telling that G of -2 equals 4. But back to G of 4, it's still up there. G of 4 is 6. X coordinates go in, Y coordinates come out. And that is the end of this section.